good evening. You're watching Nation Wants to Know and I'm Swati Joshi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to hold a high-level meeting with members of multi-party delegations who recently returned from their international outreach missions following Operation Sindoor. As we speak, the delegations comprising more than 50 members of parliament, former diplomats, senior political leaders visited 33 foreign capitals and the European Union are arriving at 7 LKM to convey a unified Indian stance against terrorism. The delegations included figures from across the political spectrum, including Priyanka Chaturvedi from UBT, Shashi Tharoor, Manish Tiwari from Congress, Sanjay Kumar Jha from JDU, Mr. Owaisi from AIMIM, Supriya Sule from NCP-SP, Rajiv Rai from Samajwadi Party and Kani Mori from the DMK. Former Union Minister Ghulam Nabi Azad and Salman Khurshid were also part of these delegations.
We can have our issues, we can have different ideologies, we come from different political backgrounds and in parliament we can have heated arguments. But when it comes to the case of India, we stand as one.
I have come here to speak for India, whoever speaks for India, and in whichever way they speak for India, whatever is said for India, we are here to support.
This is a time now for us to focus on our mission. Undoubtedly, in a thriving democracy, there are bound to be comments and criticisms, but I think at this point, we can't afford to dwell on them.
I mean, I might have differences with the ruling party. I am from All India Trinamool Congress, but I represent India here. I will not let my political interests come in the way of my national interests.
So on one hand, India's Operation Sindoor envoys have exposed Pak's terror, backing lies and propaganda on foreign soil. But on the other hand, the opposition sticks to its demand of a special parliamentary session. 16 opposition parties of the I.N.D.I.A alliance came together. They penned a joint letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, referring to serious questions facing the nation about the attack, conflict, killing of civilians in Poonch, Uri, Rajouri, and the ceasefire announcement, and also the implications on our national security and foreign policy. In the latest, Shiv Sena UBT MP Sanjay Raut has not only reiterated this demand, but he also went on to call Prime Minister's meeting with the delegates political. The BJP, of course, has hit back at Sanjay Raut, saying that this is the time to stand united as a nation and not do politics.
देखिए वो तो पॉलिटिकल इवेंट ही था. हमने मांगा था स्पेशल सेशन पार्लियामेंट का. पार्लियामेंट सेशन की बात नहीं हो रही.
In any military operations, there are many things that we could not share in the public space. So whatever that is, that the people are entitled to know about it, is of course our Modi ji is always like how he is. The transparent government he is running here. So he is also telling whatever the message.
So the nation, India, is being hailed for its anti-terror stand globally on foreign platforms. We have successfully exposed Pakistan layer by layer, but the opposition is still raising questions and casting aspersion on this fight against terrorism. The question that we are asking on the show, on Nation Wants to Know, is this India's fight against terror and not I.N.D.I.A? Is this Bharat's fight against terrorism and not the opposition? You can have your say, register your vote at Times Now on social media platform X, and I will reveal the results right after the debate. Let's open up the debate and let's go across to our guests. We're joined by R.P. Singh, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We have author Ratan Sharda on the broadcast with us. Senior journalist Shekhar Iyer also joins the panel. We also have Professor Dharmendra Yadav, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and Tausifur Rahman, spokesperson of the TMC, joining us on the broadcast. So let me begin with you, Mr. Tausif Rahman. And, in the multiple reactions that we played out, there was also a reaction of Abhishek Banerjee, of course, where he's talking about rising, above the political party lines and standing together, united as one. Salman Khurshid says, we have to stand as one. We have to put India first. But is the opposition back home doing that? Is the opposition standing as one? Is the opposition putting India first, or only casting aspersion and doubts and questioning this fight against terrorism?
Good evening to everyone. Good evening. It is very straight and it is very simple. If you hear the National General Secretary of Trinamool Congress, Abhishek Banerjee, he clearly stated and he clearly said that when it's about my country, okay, everything is afterwards. First, it's about my nation. It's about my country and it's about my national security. And I will not speak about politics right now. So it is as simple as that. But when you want to add about special session, I don't understand where are we going wrong. Special session is only to expose Pakistan, what India has done. It will be more on a positive side, not on a negative side. We are with the union government. We are with the central government. Whenever it's about my nation, whenever it's about my security, Trinamool Congress is always with the union government. Not only Abhishek Banerjee, but Mamata Bandyopadhyay, the CM of Bengal, has clearly
But
stated
Rahman,
that
when Abhishek Banerjee and others, part of the delegation, were making these statements, the statements that were coming in from the opposition parties here in India were kitno ko mara, kaun the, how many people have we killed, do we have the numbers, on what basis are we saying that our jets only flew and came back, we've achieved nothing. It's those statements that are being questioned. Nobody is saying that the opposition should not demand answers from the government, and nobody is saying that the opposition cannot ask for a special parliamentary session. Nobody is criticizing the opposition for that. It's for the controversial statements casting aspersion.
Ma'am, I have a simple logic. Is it coming from Mamata Bandyopadhyay? Is it coming from Abhishek Bandyopadhyay? Are we questioning anything? Yes, we want to know the whole details. We want to keep everything in front of India and the people of India.
But sir, are you not part of I.N.D.I.A? Are you not part of the opposition? Then has the TMC gone on record and said, all these statements coming in from the parties like Congress and Samajwadi Party are absolutely wrong? Since you're only talking about the TMC, I want you to take a stand.
No. We are totally with Operation Sindoor. We are totally with the union government. My CM, our CM, Bengal, the people of Bengal stands firmly with the union government when it's about Operation Sindoor, when it's about to expose Pakistan.
So is this politics?
We have no ifs and buts.
So can you take a stand? Can you take a stand on what Mr. Sanjay Raut has said, that the Prime Minister meeting the delegation is nothing but politics? Is this politics?
No. Why do you want to add this just like a politics? If someone as a delegate went for a delegation and they have kept Operation Sindoor in front of the world and they want to expose
you're saying this is not
Pakistan,
politics?
My MP, our MP of Bengal, my National General Secretary of Trinamool Congress has exposed Pakistan and he has kept everything
but every member part of the delegation has done that. Every member part of the delegation has done that, and their respective parties, I'm talking about Congress specifically, has casted aspersion on the loyalty of those very netas. Sanjay Jha has also joined us on the broadcast. Sanjay Jha, what is your stand on Sanjay Raut saying that this meeting between the Prime Minister and the delegates is nothing but politics?
Swati, good evening. My answer is going to be very straightforward. Number one, I don't think any political party or individual has to, get a certificate from the BJP or Mr. Modi's government to prove their patriotism or their nationalistic credentials. So let's put that absurdity behind us. Here is the fundamental point. The horrific terror attack in Pahalgam killed innocent citizens of our country, including one unfortunate citizen from Nepal. The opposition stood with the government, and that includes all parties, the Congress including, saying that whatever steps you take in terms of your reprisal against Pakistan, we will stand with you in solidarity. The issues that the opposition has since raised, whether it's Rahul Gandhi or anybody else, are not mutually exclusive from the support given. The opposition stands in support with the government and rather the Indian armed forces for fighting so bravely and carrying out the targeted objectives of Operation Sindoor. Hats off to the Indian armed forces. The tragedy in our country, and Swati, you'll agree with me, you're a pretty well-known journalist, that politicians should not take advantage of military successes in a crude manner for their own political and electoral gains. And that's where the problem arises. Secondly, when the opposition, Rahul Gandhi asked if the planes went down, later on corroborated, by the way, by the CDS General Chauhan when he was attending the conference at Shangri-La in Singapore, that some planes probably did go down, and after a couple of days, India was back, with all the aerial support. But the issues here are that if questions are asked of the government, they are equally responsibility of the opposition. We represent the people of this country.
Yes.
For example, General VP Malik, and I'm quoting a man who was in charge of the Kargil war, the triumph that we had, who, when the ceasefire was announced by Donald Trump, he made a specific statement on his Twitter. He said, what have we gained by this very abrupt closure of our military operations against Pakistan? Does it make General VP Malik or General Chauhan anti-national because they said things that India could have done differently? No. The same applies to the political parties. Yes, there is a lot more rhetoric. I'm not going to deny it.
Yes.
Both sides have got into a rhetoric mode. I'm not going to deny that. But it cannot take away the fundamental, I would say, duty and responsibility and a right to ask questions of the government where they may have been woefully short. That's all.
You know, and I also think that the political parties in that case need to issue statements and advisories saying that only statements made by the party president should be taken into account. Because, you know, you said that the opposition party supported the government in every decision they took. And I want Shekhar Iyer to come in. So when the Indus Waters Treaty was put in abeyance, Mr. Shekhar Iyer, Mehboob Mufti said that, you know, the resources are being weaponized. When the government spoke about ceasefire, rather even before the government, the DGMO spoke about it, that we've reached a ceasefire understanding, the conclusion that the opposition drew was that ye to surrender ho gaya. So was the opposition really in totality standing with the government?
Well, Swati, see, when you're talking of opposition, in this particular case, it is not one collective opposition. See, within the Congress party, there is Rahul Gandhi and his company. Their views are completely different from what other senior Congress leaders feel, that there is a time for everything. And, you know, as soon as the Operation Sindoor started, and the first reactions of, say, Kharge and Rahul Gandhi was just one sentence, and their the body language was such as if they were not too happy that government has resorted to Operation Sindoor. Because in the run-up to that period, they were demanding why you have not started an action. Why have you not, you know, already committed to a retributive action? Subsequent to that, what did you see from Rahul Gandhi or under pressure from Mallikarjuna Kharge was completely different from what other senior Congress leaders were feeling. Otherwise, why would Salman Khurshid, why would Shashi Tharoor, Manish Tiwari, Anand Sharma, they did not think that this was any time to, you know, raise questions. Let the operation is supposed to be under pause. And in those days, in those 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, several things happened. You know, right from the beginning, what we achieved to what we finally saw. Several things happened. So, but then the worry of Rahul Gandhi and co., the approach of, say, senior leaders like Sharad Pawar on one hand, leaders, you know, each. So therefore, I don't think the whole opposition looked at it one particular way. But there is a section of opposition leaders who, even for instance, even Trinamool Congress. See, initially Mamata was upset that, that she had not been contacted, and therefore after that, when Abhishek Banerjee himself name was proposed, and government spoke to Mamata. Our parliamentary affairs spoke. After that, she also agreed. But this was not the way response.
So you're saying the opposition was divided and only nitpicking, interested only in nitpicking. I will take a comment from Sanjay Jha on that very specific question of the opposition only interested in nitpicking, Sanjay Jha. But before that, I think we should go across to Mr. R.P. Singh, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. R.P. Singh, the opposition today in one voice, like Shekhar Iyer pointed out, they may have been divided on the issue of Operation Sindoor, but today the entire opposition is saying we want a special parliamentary session. Nothing wrong in that demand. Why are you calling us anti-national just because, you know, we are pointing out the loopholes and the flaws?
Swati, the purpose of the calling the parliamentary session from their side is that the parliamentary should be briefed, the party should be briefed. So there's an all-party delegation which has gone. Member from each and every party was there, including I.N.D.I.A party and including Congress and Shiv Sena, every party. So they all have been briefed. So let them go and brief their respective parties that what exactly has transpired, how it has happened, about everything they have been briefed, and that's why they went and spoke about the Operation Sindoor. But I have to make a very small point here. The resolution was passed by the West Bengal Assembly about the Operation Sindoor without mentioning Operation Sindoor. They never appreciated Operation Sindoor. They talk about that we are with the armed forces and all. But here is a copy of the resolution which doesn't use the word Operation Sindoor. I mean, this clearly shows that what sort of mindset opposition has, or what sort of mindset even Abhishek Banerjee is speaking of the country, is speaking that yes, we are here to speak in one tone. And back home, the resolution doesn't mention about Operation Sindoor. Abhishek Banerjee goes and speaks all in favor of Operation Sindoor and exposes Pakistan. But here is a party, his own party, not even mentioning it in
the purpose of the delegation was completely different. The purpose was to expose Pakistan, and that's what each member of the delegation has done. And they have risen above politics. So their argument is that the delegation has done its job. Now, at some point, they will pose questions.
No, they have all the right to pose questions. Who's stopping them from posing questions? The session will be there, monsoon session will be there. They can pose questions. Mr. Sanjay Jha was just quoting the CDS about the aeroplanes. Let me read out that word of the CDS on the aeroplanes. But fact is, they have to misquote, and CDS says we flew all our jets again targeting at a very long range. I mean, where does it say that any of the jets were grounded because it was hit by the Pakistani missile? But they are projecting it in a fashion that, oh, it has been done because there's some...
Okay, Sanjay, I know you want to come in, but allow me to take questions from Dharmendra Yadav and Ratan Sharda. They haven't spoken.
Give me a second.
Okay, all right, finish your point. Finish your point.
Another second. This is all happening because they are operating on behalf of certain lobbying.
Okay.
Because you remember after Corona, during Corona, Pfizer. Why don't you get Pfizer?
Okay, RP Singh, now allow your co-panelists to rebut. Let me start. 1 second. Let me go across to Dharmendra Yadav, and then I'll come to you. Mr. Rahman, I'll come to you as well. Dharmendra Yadav, अब आरोप ये लग रहा है कि ऑपोजिशन शुरुआत से डे वन से ही केवल खामियां निकालने में व्यस्त था, चाहे जो भी फैसला सरकार ने लिया हो। कहने के लिए ऑपोजिशन कहता रहा कि हम साथ हैं सरकार के, लेकिन पॉलिटिक्स इस पर भरपूर हुई। आज भी जब संजय राउत ये स्टेटमेंट दे रहे हैं कि प्रधानमंत्री डेलीगेट से मिल रहे हैं, केवल पॉलिटिक्स हो रही, तो कहां से ऑपोजिशन सरकार के साथ खड़ी नजर आ रही है?
स्वाति जी, अपोजिशन ने फर्स्ट ये कह दिया कि जो भी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी फैसला लेंगे, भारत की सरकार जो फैसला लेगी आतंकवादियों को खत्म करने के लिए, पूरी तरह से अपोजिशन उनके साथ है। अब जो सवाल अपोजिशन ने खड़े किए हैं ड्यूरिंग द ऑपरेशन, कोई सवाल नहीं खड़ा किया गया। ऑपरेशन के बाद जो सवाल खड़े हुए, सबसे पहला सवाल ये था कि अगर सुन लीजिए, अब सुन लीजिए, मेरी बात सुन लीजिए ना। अब जो हमारे सवाल है, अपोजिशन के सवाल है, समाजवादी पार्टी के सवाल है, वो सवाल ये है कि हम फॉरेन डिप्लोमेसी में फेल हुए। उसका रीजन ये है कि अगर आप कोई युद्ध लड़ रहे हैं या कोई ऑपरेशन कर रहे हैं, तो ऑपरेशन में दुनिया के कितने देश आपके सपोर्ट में खड़े होते हैं, ये फॉरेन डिप्लोमेसी का पार्ट है। आपके सपोर्ट में एक भी देश नहीं खड़ा हुआ।
तो 22 देशों की बात फिर कहां से हो रही है धर्मेंद्र यादव जी कि 22 देशों ने अपना सपोर्ट दिया? ये गलत है, ये फर्जीवाड़ा है क्या?
युद्ध के समय, ऑपरेशन के समय कितने देश समर्थन में आए थे, मुझे बता दीजिए आप। पाकिस्तान के समर्थन में चाइना खड़ा हो गया,
वो तो
पाकिस्तान के समर्थन में तुर्की खड़ा हो गया। भारत के समर्थन में जो अपना फ्रांस मित्र देश था वो भी नहीं खड़ा हुआ,
नहीं, टर्की और चाइना सर हमेशा से, वो तो संजय झा भी आपको बताएंगे कि टर्की और चाइना हमेशा से ऑल वेदर फ्रेंड्स जिसको कहा जाता है, वो पाकिस्तान के हमेशा से रहे। लेट मी ब्रिंग इन रतन शारदा। धर्मेंद्र यादव हैज मेड एन important point, another important point that the opposition has been raising कि आपके अपने दोस्त आपके साथ नहीं खड़े हैं, कि पाकिस्तान के सपोर्ट में सब लोग आ गए, आपके ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के सपोर्ट में कोई नहीं आया। तो ये जो बातें क्लेम की जा रही है that 22 nations supported, is that fact or lie? Is that fake?
See, it is similar to asking what happened in 26/11 when Congress didn't take any action, the government kept quiet. So I would say that were people not with them. If the world is thus for keeping quiet and keeping quiet against terrorism, I don't want such support from the world. I'm happy with myself, and I will be able to take care of the terror groups who are attacking us. Secondly, the same Akhilesh Yadav made jokes about Indian firepower. Don't forget that. And he's saying हमने तो सवाल किया, सवाल ही गलत करेंगे, आपके लोग यहाँ के मजाक उड़ाएंगे, इंडियन फौज का यहाँ टीवी पैनल पे अलग बात करेंगे, ये ठीक नहीं है। तीसरी बात, the opposition leaders who went to UN, to the world, had a different worldview, but to speaking different language. But what is the language in India? There people like Kheda and all, where they repeated surrender jibe at the Prime Minister, were they on sync with that? Tharoor was continuously pulled down for going with the delegation. Were they in tune with the party, or were they not tuned with the national sentiment? You had issue of Salman, who made very telling remark, is it so difficult to be patriotic? It showed there is a clear division within the opposition and the parties. And you ask, please tell me which government declares everything about the war in meetings in Lok Sabha. Give me one example. Starting from Henderson report, Henderson Bhagat report, no report was made public. You get limited information. That is what's supposed to be.
Okay.
And when this entire delegation went, it shows such a wonderful unity among the people of a multicultural country coming as one nation. And you look at the remarks of Kanimozi, you look at the remarks of TMC, and we haven't want even talked about Sanjay Raut.
Okay.
These people are blot on our democracy.
But then my question is to धर्मेंद्र यादव, किस पर फिर भरोसा करें? जो डेलीगेशन का हिस्सा हैं, जो कह रहे हैं कि हमें बहुत सक्सेस हासिल हुआ है, हम उस पर भरोसा करें, उस डेलीगेशन पर, या फिर हम ऑपोजिशन में भरोसा करें जो कह रहे हैं कि आपने क्या हासिल किया, आप किससे जाकर के मिल के आए, कोई इंपॉर्टेंट व्यक्ति आपसे नहीं मिला?
नहीं, पहले से पूछिए ना।
स्वाति जी, हमारे को पैनलिस्ट बता रहे हैं कि जो बयान आए हैं, मैं पूछना चाह रहा हूं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के डिप्टी सीएम अगर ये कह दें कि भारत की सेना मोदी के चरणों में नतमस्तक हो गई है, इससे सेना का अपमान नहीं हुआ? अगर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मिनिस्टर ये कह दें कि जो हमारे जाबाज ऑफिसर हैं सेना के, वो आतंकवादियों की बहन है, क्या इससे सेना का सम्मान नहीं घटता है? ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी का देशद्रोही बयान नहीं है, देश के खिलाफ बयान नहीं है,
बयान देने की किसी को जरूरत नहीं होनी चाहिए।
अगर बीजेपी के विधायक कह दें, बीजेपी के विधायक, अब सुन लीजिए, बीजेपी के विधायक कहते हैं कि हमारी सेना सो रही थी ऑपरेशन के दौरान, उनके खिलाफ कोई एक्शन हुआ, हमारे को पैनलिस्ट उनका नाम तक भी नहीं लिया। ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि वो देश के खिलाफ भी हैं और सेना के भी खिलाफ है। अपोजिशन हमेशा देश के साथ खड़ा रहा, सेना के साथ खड़ा रहा, लेकिन जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के बड़े मैंने अभी जस्ट साइट किए हैं,
संजय झा भी पहले कह रहे थे कि इस तरह के बयानों पर ध्यान नहीं देना चाहिए, बट आरपी सिंह do respond before I take a rebuttal from Sanjay Jha and Tawseefur Rahman.
दूसरी बात एक 10 सेकंड
धर्मेंद्र जी, मुझे सबके व्यू पॉइंट्स अकोमोडेट करने दीजिए प्लीज।
जी, मेरा नाम आरपी सिंह है।
आरपी सिंह।
धर्मेंद्र जी, मेरा नाम आरपी सिंह है, मैंने तो टोका नहीं आपको बीच में। धर्मेंद्र जी, क्या कहा था अखिलेश जी ने कि जीत की खुशी मनाई जाती है, सीज की नहीं। ये उन्हीं का बयान है, किसी और का नहीं। आप तो
बोलिए प्लीज, फिनिश योर पॉइंट।
आप तो ऑपरेशन सिंदूर की जीत को भी नहीं मान रहे कि हमारी सेना ने वहां पर 20 अड्डे, उनके आतंकी अड्डे और उनके जो हवाई अड्डे तोड़े। आप उसकी खुशी नहीं मनाना चाहते? वो कह रहे नहीं, ये सीज की खुशी किस बात में मनानी है। और शुभम द्विवेदी के बारे में लेकर क्या कहा था आपके नेता ने, जरा वो भी बता दीजिए। मुख्तार अंसारी के घर में जाने का टाइम है गाजीपुर में, पर शुभम द्विवेदी के घर में जाने का टाइम नहीं उनके पास।
No, one second. By netas across political parties. तो उस डिबेट में हम चले गए तो tangent ही हमारा अलग हो जाएगा. But I want to bring in Sanjay Jha. Please, could you respond to the question that I was asking earlier, Sanjay Jha, that the opposition, only thing that the opposition has done is nitpicking, and also, who do we trust? Shashi Tharoor, who says that we've hit Pakistan hard, or do we trust the statements coming in from the Congress party saying, we've achieved nothing, we have done ceasefire, ab ceasefire ki jeet manayenge, like Rapi Singh was saying, attributing that to Akhilesh Yadav, jeet का जश्न मनाया जाता है, सीज का नहीं।
Swati, here is the truth, right? The opposition is repeatedly asking 2 or 3 questions to the government. The first is, where are the terrorists? I think this is one question which for some strange reason is not coming up in our political conversation. Just a minute, Mr. Singh, just let me finish. I won't take too long. It is a worry for us if Pakistan-sponsored terrorists walk into our borders, come to Pahalgam, which, by the way, if you look at the map, is not in the border, is pretty much in the heart of Jammu and Kashmir, and they are not to be found. It's a serious security concern. The second point, why was Operation Sindoor necessitated to begin with, right? It's a military operation, is not something that countries are proud of or happy to engage in, because there is a cost on both sides. It happened because you had an intelligence lapse or a security failure in Pahalgam. And you had the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, repeatedly telling the people of India that Jammu and Kashmir post Article 370 is normal when it wasn't. So these are serious questions that need to be raised. And since RP Singh mentioned 2008, and I see, even the RSS carries on that fake propaganda, let me tell them something that I think your viewers need to know, Swati. We successfully isolated diplomatically Pakistan worldwide. Pakistan went under the Financial Action Task Force. And you know what happened under Mr. Modi?
I have to wrap up.
In 2022...
But I quickly want to go across to Shekhar Iyer. Shekhar Iyer, very quickly, if you can, respond to that before I wrap up, sir.
So it has been acknowledged. I mean, in the first all-party meeting itself, from the government side itself, they said, yes, there has been intelligence failure. Otherwise, how would the terrorists could have come to that point, which was totally unguarded? There are no two questions about it. I mean, nobody is even defending that issue. In fact, that's a matter of grave concern, whether there was a big lapse, and there is absolutely a lapse. So that apart, that there is no doubt that whoever perpetrated it and their
you're saying there was already an admission as far as the lapse is concerned about the security failure, which is concerned. The focus should have been on how we retaliated. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Unfortunately, I couldn't give you more time. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Let's now take a look at the results. This is the question we asked on the poll survey. India's terror fight, not I.N.D.I.A. 76% people have voted yes, while 24% people have voted no. With that, I'm wrapping up this edition of Nation Wants to Know. There's a lot more lined up on the other side. Stay on with us.
When the nation demands clarity, we cut through the noise to bring you the real story. Unbiased